morning, family of fast. Matt Mossman, the Chief Endurance Officer over at EndurElite. When I started running way back as a youngling, I was always told that if you want to become an exceptional runner, all you need to do is just run. Anytime you have, just spend it running. Don't do any cross training. Don't do any strength training. Don't do any other activity that can take away from your time running, because your time is best spent practicing the thing you want to be exceptional at. Now, as science has evolved, and I have evolved as a person, we all know the importance of cross-training, doing other activities, whether it's for recovery or getting better at your certain activity, and especially with strength training. Now, in previous videos, we've talked about combining endurance activity and strength training. This is called concurrent training, and the benefits it can provide to your endurance capacity. But most of these studies have been done in less than trained individuals, should we put it in a certain way. So individuals that maybe don't have a high VO2 max or a lot of training experience, etc., etc., etc. And beyond that, in these studies, the research has shown that concurrent training has decreased endurance performance, had no effect, or improved it. So what's a guy to think? Does combining endurance and strength training lead to a greater endurance capacity, not only in untrained populations, but what about moderately trained and highly trained populations like elite athletes? And that's what we're going to talk about today. There's a study published back in 2010 that examined this, because rarely has any study been done examining the effects of concurrent training on these kind of upper tiers of athletes. So we're going to look at a meta-analysis that was done in the Scandinavian Sports Science Journal, and it's titled "The Effects of Strength Training on Endurance Capacity in Top Level Endurance Athletes." Now, these athletes had a VO2 max of over 60. They trained more than 6 times a week, did workouts. So what you'd expect kind of the elite to top level athletes to be doing as compared to like the general population. And this meta-analysis basically examined the effects of strength training on short-term endurance capacity under 15 minutes and on long-term endurance capacity over 30 minutes. So they compiled a list of I'd say about 50 studies together, and they looked at all these different improvements. And what they found at the end of the study, when they crunched a massive amount of data, is that strength training does indeed improve short-term and long-term endurance capacity. And here is why, in the researchers' exact words. They said, "It is concluded that strength training can lead to enhanced long-term and short-term endurance capacity in well-trained individuals and highly trained top-level endurance athletes, especially with the use of high-volume, heavy-resistance strength training protocols." So this is an important point to make. As endurance athletes, we're always told we should do lightweight, a lot of reps to improve endurance performance. And, you know, it helps a little bit, but you're much better off doing heavy exercise like squatting, deadlifting, bench pressing. Heavy, like you can get like 3 to 8 reps. So heavy loads, high volume, 5 to 6 sets. And this is important. Here's why. The enhancement in endurance capacity appears to involve training-induced increases in the proportion of type 2A muscle fibers. So this heavy resistant training basically creates more type 2A muscle fibers, which type 2A muscle fibers you can think as a good hybrid combination of both kind of slow twitch and fast twitch fibers. So it's the best of both worlds. You kind of get that oxidative aerobic capabilities of the slow twitch fiber and that kind of high explosive power producing of the type 2 fibers. So appears to be involved training-induced increases in the proportion of type 2A muscle fibers, as well as the gains in maximal strength and rapid force characteristics, or rate of force development, like how quickly you can put power down, whether it's a footstep or mashing on your bike pedals, just that explosive movement that's created from involving weight training in your training schedule. And then lastly, it also involved enhancements in neuromuscular function, or basically how efficiently your muscles are contracting, how quickly. And this could lead to things like improved running economy or improved cycling economy and things of that nature. So really, this meta-analysis has demonstrated that, yeah, as an endurance athlete, you shouldn't only just be running, you should be strength training too, for a myriad of reasons we've discussed in other videos before. But this meta-analysis just, again, further demonstrates the importance of strength training in a well-rounded endurance training regimen. Now, what you want to do is at least strength train 2 times a week. You will get some adaptations for this, and you never want to go more than, I would say, 72 hours between weight training sessions. Otherwise, you can kind of see a decrease in those adaptations. And again, the majority of the research here with this meta-analysis showed that you should be lifting heavy, not light. Now, if you have no weight training experience, definitely start out light and build your way up, get with a good qualified personal trainer, but eventually evolve to more higher volume, higher weight strength training program to get these benefits of improving endurance capacity through strength or concurrent training. So that was a big mouthful. I'm going to cut it short right there. If you have a buddy who has doubts about strength training and combining it with his endurance training, please share this video with them. If you want other videos like this on endurance training, nutrition, supplementation, my other random musings, and busting the BS, subscribe to the EndurElite YouTube channel or head on over to the EndurElite blog at www.endurelite.com. Get social with us on Instagram and our Family of Fast Facebook group. And until next time, my endurance friends, stay fueled, stay focused, stay fast, and stay informed.